If you've seen any of my previous videos on the DIY mini pontoon boat build, you'll know that I used a trolling motor and I had it out on the river and it worked pretty well, as you can see. But I also wanted a little more power. So if you've seen any of my other videos from last year, I have a Hiawatha 1.5 horsepower motor that I just couldn't get started. So I came up with a plan. Okay, so I went out on Facebook and I found someone who was selling this lawnmower for $50. It's a 6.7 horsepower, 190 cc Briggs & Stratton, which I already have a Briggs & Stratton lawnmower, and I've had that thing for 12 years with zero maintenance, and it's still kicking. Could use some maintenance, but it's still kicking. So they're good motors. He started it up for me, everything runs. Now I wasn't expecting, this thing has an electric start with a battery and everything. This is gonna be fucking awesome. Here's the shaft and everything. I think they call it a leg. So my plan is to take the Briggs & Stratton and mount it on this. How I'm gonna do that, I don't know.
When did you get back from Beijing? I gotta know. Ooh, Molly, are you stuck in nostalgia like me?
Now that this thing is mostly complete, I want to just go over what we did yesterday. It wasn't as easy as I thought it was gonna be. I thought I was just gonna be able to replace the inner pipe here. Couldn't find the size. Then I decided I was going to just lop all the motor off and then somehow mount this to this. But when Jay took apart the Hiawatha motor, we realized that it would be better to just take the head out, take most of the components off the motor. This would keep everything the same, the measurements of the shaft and everything the same. And it just turns out that the end of the shaft threaded perfectly into here. It was like some miracle. So basically just took a plate of steel, templated it out, drilled the holes so that these guys are connected. Built some stands out of threaded 3/8 that go directly into the motor. And I haven't done it yet, but I'm gonna drill it out here, probably in 2 spots on each side to make it a little more, I don't know, basically so it doesn't unthread. I'm not sure how that's going to work yet, which way the propeller is going to go. Either it's going to thread it more and make it so that it doesn't come loose, or it's going to try to unthread it, and if that happens, it could start to pull everything apart. So I want to make sure I get that. We were going to weld it, but then that makes it a little more permanent, and I want to have the ability to take this off and make adjustments if I have to. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. I haven't started it yet in this configuration because I haven't figured out the stop, the engine stop, because this is an old lawnmower. So I gotta find out where I pulled this cable off from, and then basically keep it in the started position, and then mount it up, and it should run. What I'll say about this is that the weight is significantly more than it was with that little tiny engine. I mean, we're going from a motor that was not about that big. I mean, literally this whole thing is sitting on top of the original motor. This lawnmower is basically replacing the whole pull start for this. So you can see how small this was and how big this is. It added a significant amount of weight. The steel plate alone is probably, I don't know, 5-6 pounds maybe, let alone the engine. So I'm probably gonna have to reconfigure that, because that's the mount that I was using with the trolling motor. And who knows, this thing might not even be able to take the torque. So we'll see. All right.